Hey, Cowboy Nation, this Cowboys Abroad. Let's get into some football talk. Now, it's Wednesday here, Wednesday evening, Wednesday here. Sorry, most of you are starting your Wednesday morning, and been a rough week. But at the end of the day, comes a point in time when you got to turn the page, and this is the time we got to turn the page. Yes, we lost we lost Dr. Prescott for the season, and yes, we lost Tristan Hill for the season. But all is not lost. We still got a football game. We still got a football game to play this week. We still got the well, in reality, they call it this week. In reality, it's on Monday night. So in reality, in true fashion, to be totally 100, it's really next week. But it's part of this week's it's part of this week's schedule. So anyway, we face off against the Cardinals. We lost Dak Prescott for the year, lost Tristan Hill for the year. And those are rough blows, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, um, we got to move on. We got to move on. We got to be about the business of football. Because when it comes down to it, those are just two up 55 players that's on our roster, and we still have them we still have a season to play. And actually, let's talk. Let's get into quarterback. And quarterback Andy Dalton is our quarterback right now. And as many of you know me, you know that I have been 100% in support of Dak Prescott, and I still am. I wish him the best. I wish him a speedy full recovery. And I hope and pray that he can get back on the football field, in a time of fashion. But he's out this year, and that means that 14 is up. We got Andy Dalton, the red rifle, and I just want to go on record and say I Cowboys Broad is in support of Andy Dalton. He's the Cowboys QB. He's the Cowboys quarterback. That's Cowboys quarterback. I support him. I wish him the best. I hope he had the best season of his life because when it comes down to it, um, the Cowboys need him to be successful in order for the team to be successful. And it's really about the Dallas Cowboys team. And I believe that Andy Dalton has the skill sets necessary to keep us on the right path, to win some games, to give us a real opportunity to continue our season. I am beyond ecstatic that he's on our roster and that we were so blessed to have him to go to as a backup QB. Now that we have them there, he brings a different set of skill sets. He brings a different set of skill sets. But he's a quarterback that can win some games. He's a quarterback that can win some games. I really feel like in our system and the weapons that we have, Andy Dalton is going to do well. Now, I was talking about changes. What do you mean changes? Well, Dak is more mobile. Dak is more mobile, more elusive, and more doable. Which means he can Dak can generally extend plays, get outside the pocket, throw on the run, and do all of those little extra things to buy you some additional time for the receivers to break open or get down the field and like that. With in this circumstance, Andy Dalton is pretty much um, he can get first down or two for you, get first down or two for you, but he's not a runner. He's a pocket passer, and he can. He's probably when it comes to pure passing, probably a better passer than Dak when it comes to pure passing. But he's not going to get you those. He's not going to get you those extra minutes and do all those elusive Houdini type things that Dak can do. Dak can do for you. He's probably not the guy that you want to get too far behind. You want to get too far behind with. I don't see him as one of those. I don't want to see him as one of those light it up, touchdown, not touchdown type of guy. He's just gonna keep the game on. Just gonna keep the game on track for you, and you can win with. And you can win with. He's a 1, 2, 3 step. 1, 2, 3. Get the balls on his hands type of guy. So um, he he'll have to. We have to look at that and see. That might be his skill sets may be a challenge with the decimation of our old line. Having Leo Collins, Tyron Smith out, Joe Looney out of this lineup with a decimated line. May not have the time that you're accustomed to throw the ball to get the ball out. And so you have to make some fast reads. And when you make fast reads, sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you make predetermined. Assumptions as to where you're going to go with the ball. And whenever you predetermine where you're going to go with the ball, um, it's not as it doesn't always turn out the way you want it to. Sometimes the receiver, vendors, they'll pick that up. They pick up the little nuances. They kind of get an idea of where you like to throw, the routes you like to throw to, and they'll jump those routes. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful, guys that try to hurry up, the reason progression and go to the first guy, because oftentimes the defender know you're going there. So it'll be interesting to see how we manipulate the game plan. One thing I know is Andy Dalton. He can throw, he can make throws, he can stretch the field. He can stretch the field if necessary. But you got to give him time. I just don't know if this offensive line will give him time. It's one of those things we have to wait and see. Although I will say that the O line is getting better. So I don't know if that's saying much, but they are getting better. And Brandon Knight, I think, is doing a decent job in his new Knight is doing a decent job in his new role. And we'll have to see how it works out for Mr. Dalton, because you don't have that guy that can run around and escape three or four grabs and all that kind of stuff. And so we got to deal with what we got. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about Tristan Hill just a minute. Being him out of the lineup is damn shame. He's out of the lineup. He was coming to his own. In my opinion, having a good year. After a disappointing season last year, he had come on strong, was starting to get some pressure. Just when I was starting to notice the guy is now in the hurt locker, and that's unfortunate. That means for us is, we down to Gallimore, Dante Cole, Antoine Woods, and Tyrone Crawford. Between those four, we got to figure it out. You got to figure it out and work it out. I see this as a situation where we got to go back. We're probably going to have to go back to Tyrone Crawford. Every time I see it's time to part ways with Tyrone Crawford, we get in a situation where we need him. This is no different. In my estimation, I'm not happy with Dante Cole's performance as it is. I haven't really seen a noticeable difference with Antoine Woods. Tyrone Crawford's kind of been off. It's been kind of missing this year. I haven't really seen much of him either. So that D tackle spot has really been kind of a disappointing, and the bright spot on the defensive tackle side has been the player Tristan Hill. So um, it's a it's a tougher loss. It's a tougher loss than one might imagine initially, just because the other guys that we expect to be doing getting the job done ain't really getting the job done. Particularly Tyron Crawford, a $9 million player, expecting him to get the job done, not really getting it done. Dante Poe, he's a big body, he moves some guys around for you, but when it comes to actual true run stoppage, and actually getting there and causing havoc, not really doing that. He's just sort of taking up some space, moving some guys out of the way, which I guess is a skill set, but I don't think it's enough for that caliber of player. I think we need more out of Dante. So that is what it is. It is what it is. Those are four guys we got. It's not great news. It's not great news, but we'll be okay, and we'll move on. I guess the best thing that we can do in the situation, in the situation at hand, is one. Hope those guys step up to the plate when we heal out, and realize they got to give us a bigger role. Hopefully they step up to the plate and do that. The other thing that might help us out is better play out the linebackers. Better play out the linebackers. We get LVE back in the line. Get LVE back in the line. We get Sean Lee back. And we might be okay. Jalen Smith is putting forth a lot of effort. He's also making some mistakes out there in coverage and stuff without the help of LVE. The run stoppage has been pretty rough on Jalen. Overall, he's had some bright spots here and there, but overall it's been kind of rough on him. So, getting LVE back in his lineup to go with Jalen Smith, and getting Sean Lee back, adding him to the addition to the linebacker, that should help us out. That should help us out some. Help out the front seven where we're running short. And hopefully we can get something done there. Anyway, we still got a lot of football left to play. Everything that we want in front of us. We can still win the division. We can still make the playoff. We can still make the playoffs, and and then we see. The good thing is being on week 5. Being on week 5 is this. We got 12 games, 11, 12 games or so that we take week by week. We got 11 weeks to be ready to be a playoff team. We ain't got to go play the playoffs tomorrow. We ain't got to go play the playoffs tomorrow. I ain't got to go play who makes the playoffs tomorrow. We just take one game at a time, take our matchups, build our game plans, and be better each week. Get better each week. Get healthy, get our starters in here, and then we'll see how it all falls out. We gotta, before we worry about not being good enough to make the playoffs, we gotta make the damn playoffs. So let's just concentrate on that. Let's concentrate on winning our games one at a time, make the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens. I'm Cowboys Broad. I'm Cowboys Broad. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking me out. We're not Cowboy Nation. We in good hands with Andy Dalton. Thank God we got him. We went out and got a backup QB. We went out and got a backup QB to replace him in the back as a backup. And Gilbert is Garrett Gilbert. Garrett Gilbert was a former Texas Longhorn, transferred to SMU, played some ball. Kid got a decent, kid's undersized, but got a decent arm. Uh, won't really wow you, but he can manage a game. He can manage a game. He can manage a game, and he can go in and win your game or two if you start to go down, which is the very definition of being a backup QB. So, and he's played a few snaps in the NFL, not a lot, but some. So, at this one time, we're probably better suited with him as a backup than we would be with Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci, he's a work in progress. Developing a guy. Probably maybe be a great, be probably maybe be a good QB one day. But he's still working on it. Right now we need somebody a little bit more polished that can assist at the back of the QB department. So Ben, he probably had a job for this week while Garrett give him the COVID protocol, and then after that, Garrett Gilbert would probably be our backup QB for the season. With the school with me. At least we have somebody that's been in an NFL game before that could go in there and manage a game, and just not lose the game for us. If we have to. Anyway, this guy was brought. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out. I've talked long enough. I'm out.